Hello, hello, hello. This is some old Baozhong from Everlasting Teas. This has not been roasted. Color. The actual material itself is really clean. Really at least what I have on hand has very little dust. You can see the maroon. Hard to see in camera. The redness of the stem. Come on, you. Is really hard to tell in comparison, actually. But it has a real difference. Hopefully you cannot hear the laundry going in the background. Get it on the nose. It smells really nice. There's a really nice wood on this. Some brown sugar. There's an interesting kind of I don't know, something reminded me of like a cleaning product. Almost kind of like a almond candle or something like that. Here's the sorry everybody, not paying attention to the camera. Apologies. That's why you're here. Color of the liqueur. This is just the rinse. Now, this is fairly expensive, but I am not gonna drink that. The after smell from smelling the cup or the jahai or whatever smells clear and clean to me. Smells almost like a little bit like chlorine chemically, and not in a bad way. Interestingly, sounds strange. The color of the leaves, from my eye, are very pale, a very faded deep green that has now become faded and a bit more brown, and the stems have become kind of maroon, which that kind of characteristic of green to maroon reminds me of Shanti, of course. Come on, get in there. You would get enough of the light in there. Let me see. I feel like this is important enough for kind of the nerds out there. I'm trying to like really get more light in there. Everybody, that's a really blue light. That's not helping. All right, giving it a taste. Definitely kind of a cooling smell. We'll see how it tastes. Cheers. Yeah, this is really good. Clearly is oolong. It has a cozy that rounding off of the mid notes that the roasting does, but it doesn't have like classic acorn roasted flavor. It's not, it doesn't taste like peanuts or something insane like that. It really, but it has that kind of pleasant changing of the tone of the sweetness. It is just reminds me of just kind of like, honestly, your kind of run of the mill cheap oolong you're gonna pick up at a grocery store that's slightly roasted. Sweet, sugary sweet, a little bit woody. Okay, the leaves are really opening up now. We're now showing a lot more of that green complexion. Again, 87, batch 1 or version 1. Really incredibly delicious today. Some of these teas, it's just like, oh yeah, someone left this in their house for 40 years and I'm selling it and I'm calling it Baozhong. This tastes really good. This is carefully stored and sourced. This is a really pleasurable experience. Cheers. Nice. There's this kind of like mineral, wooey front start to it. I often describe that as sort of like almost like it's almost like playing music. There's a kind of, you can like add kind of like fuzz, which is sort of like this ambient layer of sound. It doesn't have a tone, but adds to the experience. I kind of feel like sometimes mineral flavor is like that. It's the, sort of this thing that's happening, but it's not. It's hard to call it like a flavor. It's like a, I don't know. I have a hard time pinpointing what it tastes like, but it's there in a different way. Anyway, I feel like this has that in the front of it, but then brings forward that sweet, juicy oolong. This is not one of those high noted flowery oolongs. Not now. I mean, the, you know, Baozhong can definitely have that, but this is got like it's such a disservice to say it, but like it has all those like classic kind of, again, like grocery store slightly roasted oolong notes. Really pleasant and easy drinking, really cozy, really familiar. Mm. Man, it kind of tastes like drinking 2 teas at once. Because that freshness and that soft sweetness, yeah, they're like in light hints of flowers really is there still. And then all of that, there's no funkiness in this tea at all. It doesn't taste, I couldn't tell you the age on this reliably, I don't think. Maybe looking at it, I'd be like, huh, this looks strange. Because it in camera, it's actually maybe showing a little bit less saturated than it really is in person. And it's pretty, it's yeah, green and brown. I don't know, it's hard to tell how accurately this is being represented on camera for everybody. I'm boiling the water again. Pause. You can tell by the color. Yeah, you know what? This has to have been roasted. Somehow. This has to have been lightly roasted or something. It just is too, it's too there. Mm. Actually, this one hang out. The cups getting stained. Comment below. Are you cool with that? Do you like a good teaware patina? Or does this offend every cell in your body? Personally, kind of like a patina. Yeah, the color on that. Mm. Oh, this is a good one. I'm sitting here enjoying it, and even though this is an episode, and whichever one of you people is still watching this at this point, you may be like, why am I listening to this? I don't know. My lesson for this is actually, even on an episode like this, don't rush. Really try to enjoy it. Cheers. It's not thick, but it's got viscosity, kind of like if you would describe legs on a wine. But interestingly, it's not like syrupy thick, which I think for an oolong, one could say that this is a kind of a thick oolong with a nice mouthfeel, compared to something like a pu'er. It's kind of just a different sort of range, potentially. Maybe I'm brewing my oolongs incorrectly and everyone's getting the most luscious mouthfeel ever without wanting to puke, but not me yet. Sweetness is amazing. Let this hang out again for a while. This is one of those teas you can't mess up brewing, and probably could have used more leaf realistically. Check this one out. Everlastingteas.com, I think, is the site. This one is like, I want to say 30 grams for $15, so it's not cheap. This is a experience kind of a tea, and it is. Not a daily drinker unless you're, I don't know, you don't care about money, but definitely a worth spending $15, worth not having a couple of crappy fast food meals or whatever to enjoy something nice. I mean, each session is like $250, right? $253, $350, you know, something like that. But get the whole bag. Huh. And yeah, I mean, just, you know, the quality of the material is really pretty good. These are quite intact. I would be hard pressed visually to say, oh wow, this is obviously old tea. Just in terms of the leaves rather, excuse me. Cheers. Maybe the best steeping yet. This is really nice. I like the light roast on this because the other crazy high notes have mellowed out into something really pleasant, but none of it has been overshadowed by charcoal, you know, something where I couldn't have told you might have been roasted yesterday, it's so strong or whatever. This is a light tea that you can brew hard. Such good sweetness. Wow. Yum. Easy drinking. Wish I had a lot more of this. Probably gonna get some more of this. Pick this one up. This one's a good one. There are two versions of this. couldn't tell you what the difference is. The website's pretty minimal. um, but give it a shot. This is really nice. The cooling thing still is in the nose, but I don't taste it quite as much. I wouldn't say this is a warming tea though. But the first steeping really had kind of a slight menthol toothpaste sort of a thing happening. That last steeping was actually kind of strong. Feeling a little bit of activity in the mouth. Let this hang out. I'll pause. It's gonna be like a minute. This feels like a peaceful session to me. This is a good one. It's interesting because there's a lot of activity happening around me, lots of sounds and stuff, life, but the lasting sweetness on this is really, really lovely. Cheers. Continues to be excellent, and with 1 minute there, really just keeping the this one's just even sweeter, and the viscosity is really pleasant. Wow, yum. Okay, this is one of those teas that you kind of, I don't know, I think isn't one of those ones where you boil it because it's so fancy and whatever. You boil the end of this one because it's nice and just tastes good. Keeps tasting good. This one keeps tasting good. Cheers. Easy drinking. Mom test approved. Yum. Take this one up. Man, even I think for pu'er people this one would be fun. Buy a young version of this, of course, to compare it. I think the young versions that I've had are really good as well from Everlasting Tea. Really enjoyed them too. And I know that they passed the mom test because they definitely passed the dad test. My dad has ordered from them multiple times and enjoys them. So yay. Check them out. Do all the stuff. Whatever. Hug your dog. Give your dog just a big old hug. Bye.